人生如一场旅行，在这漫漫旅程中邂逅不同的风景。他们与中国的邂逅亦是如此。
我第一次来北京是2015年的时候，
那时候很年轻，21岁。
他们跋山涉水来到中国，在这里开启一段奇妙的旅行。
太好吃了！
哦哇，你可以讲中文吗？风景区啊，名胜古迹啊，特别美。
他们寻路中国，进入中国，
这样的一个经历是非常有价值的，
特别想改变西方人眼里的这个中国。
每一段旅程都是一次宝贵的体验，每一次遇见都是一份珍贵的礼物。今天在这里，他们讲述着人生的平凡与传奇。
My name is Alexander or Sasha. I am from Russia, and I used to study Russian language and literature in Russia, and used to work in university as a teacher of literature, Russian and American literature sometimes. So I had some experience there, and then my friend told me, Sasha, do you want to try China? Because at that moment he was studying here, and he was working already here. And he said, well, there is some major you could try to change your life. I felt a bit boring in Russia. I'm from a small town, which is not far from Japan. Very beautiful, but very small, and life was very boring there. I said, okay, man, wanna try Beijing? I said, well, let's try. So I got some scholarship here, the government scholarship, and I came here to study the law. And the law was very boring actually thing for me. We studied here for 2 years in English. Got the major in comparative law. The studying was very easy actually, and here I am. Don't have to deal with law anymore.
What do you do here?
Well, I work here in university, University, and I work as a teacher of Russian language.
And what's your first impression of China?
My first impression, actually I could not get an impression here. Some people tell me things about the cultural shock, right? Didn't have any. I just saw people, the environment was different, of course. The streets are more wild at that moment when I came here. But people are people, some little different habits, some little differences in behavior, but in fact it was very easy for me to feel quite comfortable here.
Do you feel Beijing and some part of Russia looks the same?
No, absolutely not.
No.
There's a big difference, of course, between Russia and China.
We have more people.
First of all, we have more people.
Yeah, more
right?
crowded.
Well, yeah, true, also true.
You have the master in Russian literature and another comparative law. And what helped you the most in your career here?
Well, of course, literature, because I studied literature and language, right? As far as I teach language, and my knowledge in language helped me to talk about it, right? As for law, I don't know, studying law here was just a sort of period of time which helped me just to feel more comfortable here and just to find a job. It didn't really help because as a foreigner, you don't have many opportunities to find a job with this major. Because the Chinese society is a quite closed thing, and you have a lot of laws which do not let foreigners to go in some industries. For example, as a foreigner, I can't be a real lawyer in a court. Only Chinese nationals can be lawyers, real lawyers. So the maximum thing they can do are to be some legal advisors, consulting companies. So this is the maximum things. And most of my classmates from Zhongguo Zhenfa Daxue are not working as lawyers in China. Most of them just went back to Europe or States. There were some different students from different countries, and they just work there. In their like just one guy is from Italy. He's working here. Is a lawyer. Is a consulting jurisprudence, and but he worked in an Italian company anyway. So this is not the best option for students to study here, actually, and not the best, well, for some cultural exchange, of course, but not the best opportunity to find a job in China.
What do you think the motivation of a Chinese student to learn Russians?
Well, in my university, it's pretty simple. There's a program which, well, first of all, I have to explain, right? I work in the department which teaches engineers and, engineers. So, and they didn't come here because they love Russia. They started studying that because the scores were lower, but this program implies that they have to study here for 2 years, and then they can choose 2 years in Russia. So that's a good opportunity for them, I guess, to get some cultural experience abroad, and to learn one of the most difficult languages. Russian is a super difficult language. So the motivation for them, first, they just came to study some engineering, and some of them decide then to go to Russia. Usually the best students go to Russia to study because Russian education is still a good thing, especially when it comes to math or physics.
You said you were also interested in cooking.
Oh yeah.
Have you tried to learn to cook Chinese cuisines?
I don't dare to challenge Chinese chefs. So of course they cook much better than I. I know some things, like, if I pronounce it correctly, 海椒牛肉, right? I think so. I like to cook that. I learned this in Russia actually a long time ago. But mostly I cook some European food, Italian, French, or Russian. My girlfriend likes it too.
What's your favorite dish in Chinese cuisine?
In Chinese cuisine, I think it's Guangdong hot pot. That's the best thing. My girlfriend and I like to go there every time. It's a very healthy thing.
Yeah. Like the beef
yes,
hot pot.
Exactly. Like when you eat some lamb, sometimes it has some weird taste, but when it comes to beef, the taste is very clean, and it's perfect with wine.
And very fresh.
Exactly.
Have you been to other part of China besides Beijing?
Oh yeah.
You travel a lot?
Yeah. Not really, but I've been to some places the foreigners usually don't go.
Oh really? Where?
For example, Huludao.
Huludao,
Yeah.
That's a small city.
A great experience. That was the 2021 year, and my friends and I decided to have some little trip on the train, so we just went there. We got some box for barbecue because we wanted to find some wild beach without people. And this barbecue box was stolen in the train, so someone just took it. So okay, we came there, we found another one, we bought another one. We found some beach, we made some barbecue, made some fire around that, had a great party. Next morning, we put some tents, right? So we slept in tents. Next morning, we woke up, and that barbecue box was taken by someone again. I was like, even my slippers were taken. I was like, okay, probably these people didn't know that there's someone, right? They think, okay, because in the morning, we figured out that some people come there to pick up some seashells for cooking to the beach.
Oh yeah.
And but that was fun. I burned my body completely at this moment. Also, once went to Chengdu.
Chengdu.
Wow, this is a great city, I can say.
Spicy hot pot.
That's not about that. That's more about the culture and environment. Like all my childhood, I've been connected to people from underground culture. And I could feel that in Chengdu, underground culture feels much more free than in Beijing. There are some nightclubs, amazing festivals. I went there for a very good electronic music festival. It was really great.
So you really like living in China? You want to start a family in China?
Well, I believe so. I have a girlfriend. She is the best person I ever met.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
Like, people always tell me about the cultural difference. But in fact, when I met her, I realized there is no cultural difference. I just look at her as a human looking at another human. And I don't even feel that she's from a different country. I understand her so well. And she does the same.
Wow, that's true love. That's really true love.
So.
That true love can cross the culture, cross the nations, cross the species, even the species. Okay, during these years in Beijing, were any other place that you particularly want to go but you didn't go?
places aren't that important for me as people. No matter where you go, the most important thing you can have with you are the people. Meeting interesting people is a difficult thing here, because this is a big city, and many people don't like to make strong connections. Today they're here, next day they're there. And finding someone whom you enjoy the company with, and someone you can talk about everything, feeling free, without pretending, without lying, drinking every day, being crazy, sometimes too crazy, is not an easy thing. So I believe that the most important thing is not the place, these are the people.
Awesome. As an international city, what opportunity has Beijing provided you to showcase your talent and abilities?
Opportunities. That's not easy to say. Well, finding a job here as a foreigner sometimes is easier than as a Chinese, right, national. Well, because there are just less of us, and sometimes the job requires a knowledge of language, or some companies have some positions for international employees. That's mostly it. I'm not a technician. I work with humanities. And Beijing is not that interested in the cultural exchange, in fact. As a technician specialist, someone might really find a good job here, I believe. But as for humanities, that's a different approach and different... the problem is you can't really make money on that. I think this is one of the main reasons.
Which part of Beijing you like the most? Which part?
Well,
you live in Chaoyang.
I live in Chaoyang because it's convenient. But my favorite part are Chinese hutongs.
Chinese hutong.
Yes, around like Andenman and Lama Temple and Donse. I really love this local vibe. Quiet, peaceful. I used to live there. My friends and I were renting a big hutong, making parties over there. That was a very interesting experience.
And the slow boat. They have the stores in.
I'm not a visitor now. Don't go there very often. But before, I did. I just like the vibe. These
the vibe.
gray rooftops, and the blue sky when you pass it by, especially in autumn.
Yeah.
Have a glass of wine, walking with a girl, and enjoying the view.
Just catch the last sunshine of the autumn.
Something like that.
Yeah, we're already into the winter now. Yeah. All right, Saksha, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.